GrupoEntertainment.com presents Brand Sharks.
Chapter 9. Author Irvin Retiz. Title: Discipline is the Key.
Read by the co-author Mike Duffy.
Hi, I'm Mike Duffy, co-author of Brand Sharks: Unstoppable Strategies from Industry Leaders. Today we're reading Chapter 9, Discipline is the Key by Irvin Retiz. Many entrepreneurs can relate to having a rough time getting their own business started. It's something that isn't talked about by most people in the industry, but it's a harsh reality. After 3 years of running my own business, I've faced many challenges that almost made me quit. Only now, after surrounding myself with other successful entrepreneurs who have been through it as well, do I fully understand the importance of being mentally tough in order to achieve my goals. I didn't have a normal childhood like the rest of my friends growing up. Born into an entrepreneurial family, I spent most of my summers and holiday breaks working in my dad's electrical business, which he still operates to this day. I initially started going to job sites with him when I was only 10 years old to do basic tasks like picking up the trash, getting materials from work vehicles, and taking them inside, or just learning anything about the trade that I could. In addition to learning how to work in the trade hands-on, he also taught me the importance of chasing a dream. He wanted to raise me to eventually own my own company or be a top executive in another industry. He wasn't there to simply raise another worker bee in society. He wanted to turn me into a leader who would do big things in life. When I was a kid, I just wished I could be on vacation during the summer and have the entire time to hang out with my friends. All grown up now and on my own, I'm grateful and blessed to have been raised the way I was, and I wouldn't want it any other way. My dad is a believer in experiencing different things, and I recently adopted the same mentality from a mentor of mine. As a kid, I dreamed of doing many things with my life: owning a car customization shop, being a music producer, launching a luxury apparel and accessories brand, and being a professional soccer player were among some of my top childhood aspirations. My dad would always say, "You won't know if you like something until you try it out, and if you don't like it, no big deal. That's the only way you will find something that you love. You need to actually try it out as a job or a hobby and then go from there." By following his method, I ended up working for one of his mechanic friends, and I also created custom accessories that I tried to sell online. Both ended badly, but at least I learned early on that they weren't in my lane. For many years, there was nothing but trial and error as I attempted numerous business ventures. While trying my hand at different endeavors, I also bounced between different colleges and universities through Texas. After a semester of playing college soccer for a private college in Hawkins, Texas, I landed back home in the small city of Alamo. I went to my hometown university for another year until I decided to apply to a small community college in Houston. I arranged my class schedule to spend half a week in Houston living with my then girlfriend and attending classes, and then the second half of the week back home working with my dad. That struggle lasted for about 2 years, and I went back to working for my dad full-time at his electrical company with an associate of drafting and design that I really wasn't sure I would use in the future. I returned to the same routine I had been in after I graduated high school, working for my dad and not knowing what I was going to do with my career. It felt like a step backward. In the early months of 2018, I received the opportunity to go to Houston and train this summer for a semi-pro soccer team. Soccer had been my top lifetime goal since 11th grade. I remember telling one of my teachers at that time that being a professional soccer player was my dream job, and she told me that what any other teacher would say: "That's not a real job, choose something more realistic." When I received the opportunity to train with the semi-pro team for the summer, I knew I couldn't pass it up. After talking to my dad about moving to Houston, he eventually agreed to it. My parents didn't fully support me moving and going to play soccer, but they also didn't prevent me from following my dreams. I had a conversation with my aunt, and she allowed me to rent a spare room in her house. Everything was set. Practice started June 4th, and I was ready to go. After I moved, I started training with the team 4 times per week from 8:30 to 10:30 a.m. Since that was all I did in Houston, by 11 a.m., I was done with the day and had the rest of it to do what I wanted. There were so many things I could do before getting bored. About halfway into the first month, I decided to start looking for some electrical work to do on the side for money and keep me busy during my free time. I had all my electrical licenses in place to be able to start my own business under my name. That had not originally been my intention. Despite this, I still proceeded with establishing my business and doing the necessary things I needed in order to officially start working, like applying with the city of Houston as a registered contractor and setting up my business bank accounts. I still didn't know what path I wanted to take if soccer didn't work out. I was mainly living in the present and not thinking about the future. The routine of soccer and work continued until the end of the summer. Then soccer season finished. Once the season was over, I ended up staying at my aunt's house with nothing to do except work and focus on building my now established electrical business. Since that was the only thing left to do, I needed to make some money to live, but I did the exact opposite. There I was, a 23-year-old with his master electrician electrical contractor licenses with an established business, a feat that was unheard of at that age. Many people at that age are barely starting their careers in the trade, and by the time they end up getting their master's license, they're easily near or past the age of 30. But even in that circumstance, I still wasn't sure if electrical was my future, so I spent the next 8 months half-assing my business. I never went out to look for work. I was too busy researching other business ventures while sitting in Starbucks sipping my coffee. If I woke up one day and didn't have any projects, I said, fuck it. And I would go back to the cafe and sit there for hours researching other career paths I could take. I was wasting every single day unmotivated and unhappy with what I was doing. I could have easily gotten a job with a commercial electrical company and made 6 figures per year with my credentials, but that wasn't my cup of tea either. I now realized that I wasn't chasing money. I was looking for my passion. At that point in my life, I didn't know what I wanted to do. Hell, I didn't even know what I wanted to do that day. I was lost with no clear direction of where I wanted to go with my business. After those 8 months, and after taking a couple of business courses from successful entrepreneurs, I stumbled upon a podcast show in February of 2019. This show was called the MF CEO Project by Andy Frisella. I didn't realize it then, but that show would bring me my biggest breakthrough in life. I started listening to the show on episode 1, even though they were already around 300 episodes deep at that time. During this time, I also hired a soccer coach to train me one-on-one, and that led me to join another soccer team in a local league. Once I got a good feel of Andy Frisella, I really resonated with who he was and the message he put on the show. Andy spoke to me directly with every episode he dropped, and it eventually made me realize I was wasting my life and business by not taking it seriously. He smoked me out of my bullshit. For the remainder of 2019, I worked my ass off to the point that I was leaving home around 6 in the morning and not returning until after 9 at night. He lit a fire in me that made me work all the fucking time, 6 to 7 days a week for 12 or more hours each day. Toward the end of 2019, and after hundreds of episodes of the MF CEO Project, I found a program Andy created called 75 Hard. The program was simple but not easy. It consisted of the following tasks each day for 75 days straight. Complete 2 workouts of at least 45 minutes each. One of them must be outdoors. Drink 1 gallon of water. Take a progress picture. Read 10 pages of a personal development book. Follow a diet and no cheat meals or alcohol. My first reaction after reading the requirements is probably similar to yours. That's a lot of shit, man. I'm not sure if I can do it, or I don't have time to do all that. I'm already too busy. Both of those are complete bullshit excuses you tell yourself when you come across something uncomfortable. I spent the next few months wanting to give 75 Hard a try, but I still had those excuses in the back of my head, and probably a few more I created along the way. I was finally tired of living my life with no purpose and no improvement. March 2020 was when the fun began. Many people will remember March 2020 is a month that infamous COVID-19 came in to the States and shut the economy down. But not for me. That is when I decided to give 75 Hard a try. It wasn't planned, it just happened organically. I had nothing to lose and everything to gain. I repeatedly failed the first 7 times. I'll admit that your day-to-day life must revolve around 75 Hard to get this program done. That's when you realize that you definitely have time for anything, and the excuse you tell yourself of I don't have time is just a self-limiting belief. My 8th attempt at 75 Hard was the time I made through all 75 days. Sometime during the middle of the year, Andy published a 75 Hard book that explained the program in depth and also included everything he learned and did during his journey through the 75 Hard. One of the things that he explained was that 75 Hard was meant to be an add-on to the things you were already doing in your life. That confirmed that I didn't complete the program the correct way because I used my soccer practice as a workout, which I was already doing prior to the start of the program. To do things right, I chose to repeat the program in October 2020. That time around, I completed everything correctly. be. Going through this mental toughness program taught me valuable lessons. The most important lesson was the concept of discipline and the necessity to do what you must no matter what. Another important lesson was only focusing on what you can control rather than what you can't. I focused on the things I could control, the food I ate, what I put into my brain, the workouts I did, etc. And I didn't focus on the things I couldn't control. COVID coming into the States, the economy shutting down, politics, etc. That is why 2020 was the best year for me. It was a great period of personal and mental growth, and I credit Andy Frisella for putting me in the right mindset. 75 Hard for the mental toughness program and every podcast book and a high achieving friend and mentor that I've gotten close to throughout that journey. Starting my personal development journey brought many ideas and passions to mind. One of the results of this mental transformation was creating a podcast of my own called Breakthrough Society. I created this podcast because Andy's changed my life, and I knew that creating one of my own with the experience and knowledge I had gained could change someone else's life. I wanted to help people who were in the same rut that I had been stuck in for so long. I hope that my podcast would inspire the person that needed help and guidance in their life and decision making, just as I did before starting my business and finding my passion. Breakthrough Society has had numerous successful people on the show who highlight their early years in business and the things they had to learn to get through their struggles. I like to be real with everyone and not bullshit about anything. So I'm speaking the truth when I say that I struggled to find momentum in the first 2 months of 2021. After a few conversations with myself, I knew that I needed to make a change to my lifestyle. Having just completed one of the hardest mental toughness programs out there for 75 days straight, I knew that it was possible to add good habits to my life permanently. When you get dialed in during those times of motivation, you feel unstoppable. No matter what happens through the day, you can control the time you go to sleep, the time you wake up. Once you tell yourself that you'll stick to this routine, life gets a whole lot easier. I wake up at 4 a.m. and focus on my health, fitness, and gratitude before the workday starts at 9. I set the tone right for the day from the very start. Then after the workday finishes at 5:30 p.m., I can focus on some tasks I still have pending. My fitness, planning for the next day, reading my 10 pages, and going to sleep by 10. Even when the world is in chaos around you, focus on the things you can control. I promise you'll feel a lot better. I decided to restart 75 Hard, but this time I scheduled time on my calendar for all the requirements that needed to get done aside from my day-to-day work. A couple of months prior to this, I told myself that I'd done enough fucking around, and it was time to get back to work. I went into a strict morning and nighttime routine. Everyone's routine will be a bit different, but there are 4 major areas you need to focus on in order to gain control of your life. These areas are gratitude, health and fitness, career, and then friends and family. If you focus on these things every single day, you'll feel like an unstoppable force. Like I said before, everyone's schedule will be a bit different, but everything in your routine should fall within one of these 4 categories. If something doesn't qualify as one of the categories, then it shouldn't be on the list. Shining a spotlight on those areas made me realize the importance of creating balance in my life. I now live a far healthier lifestyle, which makes room for all the crucial components of maintaining my physical and mental well-being. I'm grateful for what I have, but not fully satisfied just yet. I'm dialed in on my business. Retiz, Electric. And I spend as much time as possible with my friends and family who help me level up in life. Seeing where I'm now at in my journey, which is still very early, I get a lot of people asking me how I can keep going to the gym or doing the work even when I don't feel like it. The answer is simple. You build discipline. Simple doesn't mean easy, but by building discipline, you are aware of the shit that needs to get done in order to take you from the level you're at currently to the level you want to be at years down the line. When you know the shit needs to get done regardless, you don't let any outside force fuck up your mission and your process. You still feel fatigued, inspiring, and lost, but you'll do the basic tasks you need to do daily because you know what it will take and you're willing to go all in on it. You're either all in or all out. There's no in between. You don't necessarily have to love the process and the work, but you will love the result. Once you get to the end goal you're looking for, you'll celebrate for a day and be back chasing the next level and the next journey. I've had many sleepless nights, and I could very well sleep in, but my desire to succeed is greater than my desire to sleep. I wouldn't like to go 48 hours without sleep. But building mental toughness and discipline has rewired my brain to get my shit done when it needs to get done, even if that means not getting any sleep or being a little tired and uncomfortable. The real question is, how bad do you want it? You don't have to start doing 75 hard, but that was the program that ultimately changed my life, and I wouldn't change anything about the journey. You can find something difficult to do that will build up your mental toughness and discipline. Discipline is the key that everyone is looking for. It will unlock your true potential and give you the ability to find what you need in the future for your own version of success. The struggles I've been through taught me a couple of things. I realized that the career passion I was looking for, I had actually had it all along. I had started Retiz Electricity early on, but I did not work hard enough to allow it to reach its full potential. Once I gained the discipline to put in the hours and engage in my work, I saw that my true passion was using my business to change the electrical industry for the better. It also became abundantly clear to me that every successful entrepreneur is dialed in on their health and fitness. It's a lifestyle commitment, and one that will reward you tenfold in both physical ability and mental strength. Another thing I learned is that your mindset and what you feed into it will determine whether or not you truly become successful. With the personal awareness I've gained from my journey so far, my new lifelong goal is to help other people become mentally and physically strong so they too can dominate their life. After spending so many years in contact with tradespeople, I can say with certainty that there is rampant disregard for mental and physical health within the industry. Most tradespeople do not work out, make healthy choices in their diet, or take any vitamins or supplements. Using my position of authority at Retiz Electric, I want to distribute what I have learned to my employees and other people who work in the trade. It is common for tradesperson to stop at gas stations for their meals during the workday. They can get a couple hot dogs, corn dogs, or tacos, as well as a large fountain drink for less than $5. It's quick, it's easy, it's cheap. But most of these people don't realize what they choose to put in their bodies daily, and their lack of exercise is affecting their performance. Individuals in the industry don't consider this, nor do the owners of the companies they work for. My goal is to build Retiz Electric to be a personal development company first and an electric company second. I know that if you take care of your people and if you put in the work to help them get even 1% better in their mental and physical health, then their performance will inevitably improve and they'll take care of your company in return. This is a massive shortcoming in trade work. By becoming the first company in the industry that focuses on personal development, Retiz Electric will become ongoing proof that making health and fitness a priority will naturally improve performance on both an individual and company-wide level. I would love to help you get started on your journey to success. A lot of trial and error has allowed me to find out what works and what doesn't so that I can be the best version of myself in all 4 important areas of life: gratitude, health, and fitness, career, and family and friends. Feel free to message me on Instagram at Irvin Retiz. Let me know you read the book and how I can help you change your life. Let's win together. And there's a little bit about Irvin on the back. Anyway, so thank you for joining me. That was chapter 9 of Brand Sharks, Unstoppable Strategies from Industry Leaders. You can purchase the book at brandsharksbook.com, and I will send you an autographed copy of the book wherever you are in the world. Thanks for listening. And if you're watching the video, thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up.
Follow Irvin Retiz on Instagram at Irvin Retiz. That's spelled IRVINRETIZ, or on his website, retizelectric.com.